Hello, everybody. It's another episode of Vet Green. I am unpacking. I hope you guys are unpacking with me. Unpacking helps us, right? I think it does. It helps me. So I'm hoping that it's helping you guys as well. This unpacking helps me realign my life, it helps me put myself in motion. The unpacking helps me lay everything out. It helps you guys, and I hope it is helping you as well. So, yesterday when I was driving Lyft, there were two occasions where I picked up two separate young ladies. Both of them had kids. The one young lady was leaving who I assumed to be her boyfriend, and she had the kids. It was late, and I could tell that she didn't really want to leave this guy. And she was aggravated at the kids because they were tired and they were trying to get her attention. But she was really focused on, the guy. We all want affection. We all want to feel loved and cared for. So when they got in the car, the kids again were trying to get her attention, but she didn't want to be bothered. And it made me think about occasions where when my children were growing up, and because I wanted me time, that I would lash out at them. I would kind of like scoop them away, because I didn't want to be bothered. I was focused on what I was focused on. And not to, I say that to say that sometimes our language makes a huge difference on how we interact with people, and especially our kids. Kids, they don't know limits. We teach them limits, but our conversation with them should not demean them in any way. Now, I was talking to my daughter about this, and one of the things I never did was I never called them out their name. I never said that they were dumb or stupid, or, you hear some parents calling their kids, out their name. They'll be, you know, B's and mother effers and the N word. This is something that they were called. So it's very normal for them to call their own kids that. It's become normalized. But my language, that you're bothering me language, my body language gave that energy off. And they feel that. Kids feel that. And a child should never feel as if they're a burden on you, because they grow up, and when they don't feel as if they're accepted, that's how they view the world. And they carry this anger with them. So as I'm driving, I'm thinking about, I understand what's going on with this lady. She just wants to be fulfilled, and she can't because she has to do whatever wherever she was going. And the kids were just, they didn't know any better. They just wanted her attention, but she was focused on that hurt and pain that she was feeling because she was being separated. Parenting doesn't come with a manual. Parenting is one of the hardest, most unthankful jobs that you can do in this world. It is not a job that you get paid for. It is a 24/7, 365-day a year job until that child is grown. And even once they're grown, you're still parenting them. It's just a different type of parenting. But you guys, we have got to remember that our kids are our future, and they grow up. And how we treat them is how they'll treat the world and how they'll view themselves in this world. It's hard enough to go through life and experience rejection and experience hurt and pain. We don't want to add another layer of all of those things to our kids at home. Home should be the safe space for them. Home is where they should get life breathed into them. We shouldn't set them up for failure before they're even adults. And when we speak to them in a demeaning way or shoo them off as if they aren't important, we give them the impression that they aren't important. So that they carry this anger with them. And as I'm unpacking, I said in my last video that I'm also unpacking my parenting style, because I was a kid, a 17-year-old kid when I became a mom. I was 16 and pregnant, and I was a kid raising a kid. I didn't know what I didn't know what I didn't know. And if I could go back, I would, you know. Even though I understand that I had to go through what I went through to make me into the person that I am now, I do wish that there were certain things as a parent that I knew back then. Because my greatest worry is that my kids would not see their true potential based on something that I didn't do. That's one of my greatest fears as a parent. You know, I always tried to breathe life into them, but in my hurt, you know, there were occasions where I wasn't able to do that because I didn't have that capacity inside myself. So I was talking to my daughter, and she reminded me of an occasion where they had gone to their father's house for the weekend. This was after we had split up. And I don't know what had happened that weekend, but I can just imagine how I was feeling because I had to go and pick them up. And not only had they gone to their father's house for the weekend, they had taken a few of their friends. That was something that was usually done at my house. So I can imagine that I was feeling animosity because that was my life before. You know, the kids would come to my house and have sleepovers, and, you know, my house was the meetup spot. And now it was my ex-husband and his girlfriend's house where that was becoming the meetup spot. And I had some animosity towards that. So my daughter said, I came and picked them up, and immediately she saw on my face like this look of disgust, and all she could think was, wow, you know, we haven't even seen mommy all weekend and she's already mad. I was already mad, and I hadn't even seen my kids all weekend, but because I was hurt and I was so focused on my hurt, it was reflecting in my outward appearance, and that energy they were picking up. So I say that to say, you guys, our kids are our future, and I wish I could go back and turn the hands of time back and do things a little bit differently, but I can't. But I'm unpacking, and I'm trying to make mends with those things that I did not do, that I wasn't capable of doing because my mind was gone. It was focused on that hurt. I'm trying to make amends with my kids. You know, I thank God that they did not turn out to be, you know, people that weren't doing well in society, because it could have turned that way. I was checked out for a while as a parent. You know, I did the basics. I thank God that I had a support system, you know, with my mom and my sister. You know, my sister is definitely a second mom to my kids, and she has 2 kids of her own, but she definitely picks up where I can't. She picks up. You know, she is an awesome aunt, an awesome aunt. She really, really is. I thank God for that support system. But you guys, breathe life into your kids. Don't call them names. Don't tell them that they're less than anything other than great. Breathe life into your kids. If you have an energy, a negative energy, they're going to feel that, especially if it has nothing to do with them. It has something to do with something that a person has done to you. Maybe your heart is breaking, or, maybe you aren't in the living conditions that you would like. Take a moment and just be like, you know what, right now, honey, I'm going through some things and I don't want to take it out on you. Just give me a few moments to regroup and just get myself together. I just need a few minutes because this has nothing to do with you, and I don't want you to feel as if this energy that I'm sitting in right now has anything to do with you, because our kids need to know that they are loved. Our kids need to know that they have a bright future in front of them. And we have to continuously love them and nurture them and breathe life into them, you guys. Our kids are our future. There's so many kids out there right now that are in brokenness because of their parents' brokenness. The chains have to break. The chains have got to break. We cannot continue to bring these kids up in a world where they do not know what love feels like. It's men and women. I was about to say especially our men, but then I thought of women also. I know so many young girls that have never felt the love of their mom because their mom was never felt the love of their mom. So, the cycle continues. Who's going to break it? It's up to us. It's up to us. We have got to put our foot down and say, you know what, we are going to love these children. We are going to nurture these children. We are going to stop killing them with our words, killing them with our energy, our brokenness. We're bouncing our negative energy onto them, and then they go out into this world and they're supposed to do what? Kids don't do what they're told. Kids do what they see. That was my spill for the night, you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I will be talking to you guys. Leave me a message. I want to know your thoughts on this. Leave me a message. Do you know someone who don't know what love feels like because they never felt love? Or maybe that's you. Maybe that's you. Maybe you never had a parent to love you, so you don't know how to love your children. You only know what you know because of what you were taught from your parent. Is that you? Leave me a message. DM me. You guys, I really want to know because I care. We are building a community here. We will get through this together. We all have some brokenness inside of us. But together, me and you, me and you, me and you can fix this. I love you guys.